right, man. All right. Good morning. And we are back with the mission, of course. And what do we got planned for today? We got, well, number one, it's really hot out. Even in just the morning time. Like, I'm feeling the sweat already, so it's gonna be a good old hot workout and adventure. Which, hey, you know, cannot complain. I've been looking forward to this since springtime came. Well, yeah, since around springtime, because here in the good old Midwest, spring is pretty brutal, I will say. And it's weird because I actually kind of enjoy winter more than spring, just because of how brutal spring can be. Except for the polar vortex events, those are never fun. And we got that. We got a pole workout. What I've decided I'm gonna do, I know I talked about it yesterday, and I kept thinking to myself, like, oh yeah, you know, the pole workouts, it's kind of hard to make it work out, ironically, because yeah, you gotta find, right, if you're gonna do pull-ups, it has to be, number one, a straight kind of bar, because I've tried doing slanted tree branches, I've tried doing, you know, slanted tree branches like that, never worked out good. The workout never worked out. Number two, I've tried doing certain branches, but when they're too thick, you can't even grip on for too long and your hands start sliding off. That's number one. Number two, if it's too thin, the branch will break. And in my OG videos, which are posted on the second channel, if you want to see those, there's one video where I remember I went to go do pull-ups on the branch. This was like back in winter time too, or maybe like early spring, something like that. And I went to go do the pull-ups and boom, branch snapped, like fell down, and I was like, oh dude, come on, man, come on. So clearly that stuff does not work out too well. So it has to be the perfect thickness, it has to be straight across, and it has to be the perfect height, because if you can't reach it, how are you going to do it? Whereas if it's too low, then you can't even do it, right? So that's the hard part about pole, is that it, you know, like push-ups and stuff, and then with legs, squats, lunges, wall sits, you can do those anytime, anywhere. And that's the main thing I love about doing body weight workouts and working out outdoors, is that you could just do it anytime, anywhere, man. Like, you can do it anytime, anywhere. So there's no excuse as to why you miss your workout. That's the only hard thing about pole, is that it has to be kind of a perfect setup. So I can, number one, go to the gym and do that. The only thing is I wouldn't be able to record that day. And that would be the only day of the week that I'd really go to the gym. But in winter time, I do a little bit of half and half. Like, I'll do my workouts half outdoors, take off the shirt, right? It'll be snowing. Oh man, it's challenging, but it feels really good. It rewards you really well. So I'll do about half of that, like that, and then the other half I'll do at the gym. So it just kind of split it up a little bit, right? And plus, what I do like about the gym too is you get to social, like, at least be around people and potentially meet good people and socialize and stuff. So that's the one thing I do like about it. But when it's nice out, man, I gotta get out as much as I can, even when it's hot. Like, this is my season right here, you know. I've actually developed a really good relationship with winter over the past years, but it's the wind chill and the polar vortex that I can't stand those. I'm not gonna lie. But other than that, I've developed a really good relationship with winter over the past years, and summer I've always had a good relationship with. So I gotta get out while I can. You know, I gotta do it while I can. That's the thing. So if you're doing workouts, whether it be body weight or outdoor, you know, even body weight workouts you could do at a gym or in your room or anything. So it doesn't just have to be outdoors. But if you do body weight workouts in general, understand, yeah, push and legs you could do anytime, anywhere. Like, there's no excuses as to why you should miss it. Pole, there should be no excuses too. You just gotta find the right setup first. And I know that back when I was doing pull-ups in the winter time, there was this one place. So I went to, oh my man, you went the wrong, oh, you little sneaky driver. This guy there's like cones over here, and he went, so there's cones in the middle between the two lanes, right? This one lane's going this way, other lane's going this way. And this guy just took a little right out and then went in the lane that's coming this way, but he was going that way, right? But he ended up making a left turn at the street. So either he did not realize until like the last second before he turned that he was in the wrong lane, or he was doing that on purpose to try to get out of this little, you know, kind of traffic jam due to construction. Anyway. Yeah, sneaky guy. But anyway, back to the whole original point of this is that there was a spot where I was doing pole, right? Originally, back in like winter time, even fall, even before I started recording mission videos, when I used to record calisthenics vlogs, and I should have kept those. I still regret every video I've ever deleted. Like I am not deleting any videos. I don't care what happens. I regret deleting any videos I have. Just because I thought to myself, oh yeah, you know, it's a new mission, I might as well just delete all the things, right? I used to do self-improvement vlogs, and then when I started doing calisthenics vlogs, I deleted those self-improvement ones. I'm like, oh, they're cringy, and like you know, I'm doing a new thing, so I should just delete them. And then once I started doing this mission, these mission videos, I deleted my calisthenics vlogs. I was like, oh yeah, I'll be doing calisthenics in the videos. There's no reason to, I still regret deleting them ever, man. But no, this one spot that I went to, I was doing pull-ups on these gymnastics rings, which means you gotta like kind of throw a rope around a tree branch and then attach the ring, so that way you can have be able to do the pull-ups, right? And that's what I was doing. However, the problem with this was when two cops were just strolling back there with like this one guy. They were like talking and laughing. The cops are cool and everything, but they came up to me and they were like, hey, like, what are you doing? This looks pretty cool. And I was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm doing a workout, doing a calisthenics workout. And the cops had ended up telling me, like, you know, oh, this looks like a really cool setup and everything, but you can't be doing it back here. And I was like, oh, is it private property or something? They're like, no, we just, like, you just can't have ropes around trees back here. And when you think about it deeply, right, you know, having ropes around the trees in the middle of the forest, it makes sense. They knew I was doing a workout, but at the same time, looking at it from the cops' point of view, it's like, you know, hey, we got to protect the public and make sure everyone is good and safe and okay. So I can definitely see why they told me I couldn't. But bottom line is that place is pretty much off limits now. So that was like the one really good spot for pole, because it had like the perfect kind of branch, and I was able to throw the rope around it and be able to use the rings. But now that spot's gone. Now I did just remember another spot that I'm going to now that is good. There's one where a branch I could actually jump up on and do pole, and then there's another branch actually not too far from that spot. Like if you walk down about maybe quarter or half a mile, then there's like another tree where I can easily throw the rings around. And I'm glad I remember this spot. I don't even know how it slipped my mind. But yeah, this is going to be the main spot for pole day then. Whereas push and leg day, I'm going to go wherever the wind takes me. But this will be the main spot for pole day. So I'm glad that I'll be able to make that work out. Be able to make the workout work out. So yeah, I'll be doing that. Yeah, got the good old-fashioned hot, sunny, sweaty pole workouts. And then of course we got our Bible reading continuing off in Mark 2. I'll show you around the place a little bit too before we come back and read the Bible. And then I have a pretty good talk, a pretty good message to give you at the end of this video, which that's what I'm going to start doing from now on, is instead of doing the message right at the beginning, I think it's going to fit better at the end. I remember back when I used to watch this guy on YouTube, or actually I still watch him, but his older videos, or his name is Dre Drexler. I used to watch his older videos. You might actually recognize his name. He used to do like looks maxing and hairstyles, and I remember I was really into his videos. But I remember there was this one video where it was like a casual kind of video. I want to say it was like a hairstyling video or something, where it's like, oh yeah, top 10 hairstyles for men, right? Back when I used to watch that stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, like this is great. I got to try some of these, because he actually helped me to find a hairstyle that fits for me. You know, back in kind of like the high school days, when you're watching just like all the looks maxing videos and stuff like that, when you're into that kind of stuff. I mean, hey, if you're in high school, you're into masculinity, this kind of stuff, hey, respect to you, man. That's awesome. Because that's actually, like, it started at looks maxing and fitness, and then I got into masculinity and self-improvement from there. So it started off with the looks maxing. Anyway, it was one of his like casual videos, and then at the end of the video, I remember he just gave a message like talking about, hey, do not let the sun go down in your anger. That's what the Bible says. And then he started, you know, talking about God and how to be a better man. And I'm like, dude, this is beautiful, bro. This is beautiful. But I think it was pretty cool because I didn't really expect it, you know. And it kind of hit it kind of hit really hard just having it right at the end. It's kind of like, you know, leave your day off with a good message. And when I think about it, you know, because I've gone through a whole journey of making videos and, oh, you know, should I do this here and this here? And I've come to the conclusion that I just got to make the videos that I love to make, the kind of videos that I would watch all day, man. The kind of videos that I would just put on and listen to while I'm driving or while I'm working out or while I'm taking a walk or before I go to sleep or whatever it may be, right? So I'm just making the kind of videos that... This is really weird. I'm just making the kind of videos that I enjoy making and that I think, that I enjoy making, that I think are just, you know, good, meaningful, all that stuff. And, you know, even if I wasn't recording, I would still be, you know, thinking about certain lessons I've learned. I would still be learning lessons. I would still be driving my car. I would still be sitting in my car thinking about life. I would still be going on walks. I would still be doing workouts. I would still be doing it outdoors. I would still be embracing the environment. I would still be reading my Bible. So I figure, you know, why not just record what I'm doing? And it would be cool too. Like, and this is why I wish I never deleted the old stinking videos, because a year or 2 years or 3 years from now, I can look back on this and be like, oh wow, like, yeah, I forgot you know, this is what I did during my day, or I forgot, oh yeah, this was a lesson I've learned. Oh yeah, this was you know, a Bible reading I actually forgot about. Oh, this is actually a really cool workout, you know, so I can just look back in the future. So I just come to the conclusion, it's like, hey, record the videos that you love to record, right? The ones that are meaningful to you, ones you could look back in years and be like, wow, that's pretty stinking cool. And these are the kind of videos right here. This is the stuff that I enjoy. So why the heck not just record it? All right, that being said, we're gonna be pulling up in a minute here. So I will see you for the workouts, and then I'll show you a little bit around the spot too, because when I take a walk to my workout spot, I like to just enjoy the peace and the quiet, and you know, sometimes I'll just sit and pray a little bit, meditate a little bit. So I'll do that. So I'll see you at the workout spot. Look around a little bit after, Bible reading, good message to leave you off with, and yeah, that'll be the day. So I'll see you then. Here we go. Here is the pole workout spot, the pull-up workout spot, and yeah, here's that branch, right? See how it's like perfectly level, and it's pretty much the perfect thickness because it's not too big for my hands, but it's also not too small where it's gonna break, and it's the perfect height too because I can actually jump up and reach it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. If it was higher, I couldn't reach it. If it was lower, it might be doable, but I just might be hitting the ground while doing pull-ups. You know, not that it has to be 100% perfect, but I mean, about 95 to 100%, yeah, pretty much. But anyway, yeah, that's what we're gonna be with the pull workouts. And I will say pull-up, in my opinion, is probably I don't know, hardest. I don't know. Hardest, definitely up there in terms of difficulty, definitely up there. So it's really good though, and what I would recommend for any kind of pull or pull-ups is doing different variations. So you could have the wide grip, which is gonna, you know, like hit like your outer back, right, a little bit, some of your lats too. You have the close grip, which is in the reverse grip, which is gonna hit your biceps really good. You could have close regular grip, which is gonna hit like your inner back really good. Wide grip, reverse. So if you do different variations of pull-up between regular, close, and wide, you'll be able to hit the full spectrum of your back. And if you do between regular pull-ups and reverse grip pull-ups, you'll be able to hit the full spectrum of your biceps to your back to your lats. And your lats are like the kind of muscle that comes out, right, that gives you that V-like shape. And I could honestly do better on that, but you know, it's definitely not too bad, but I could do better. So same thing with push, right? As you do different variations. So the main thing you want to remember for push, push-ups. The main thing you want to remember for pull, pull-ups. Very, very, very simple. And again, you can do it pretty much anytime, anywhere. Besides the pull-up, you got to have a little plan. But other than that, this is why body weight workouts, calisthenics, weighted vest body weight workouts, outdoors, indoors, like it's the kind of workouts that you could do anytime, anywhere. And it's so much easier to stay consistent, right? Of course, the gym is great too, man. Like, the gym is great. It's just a lot easier to stay consistent when you could do it anytime, anywhere, because you know that if you don't do a workout for the day, that was just you being lazy. there's no excuse unless you're like paralyzed or your bones are broken. Okay, fair enough. But other than that, yeah, like you just, you know, and working out is so good for us, man. Like us men, we gotta work out, man. We gotta work out. Whether you want to build muscle, whether you want to lose fat, whether you don't care about any of that and you just want to stay in shape. Hey, whatever your you know, goals that you may or may not have, bottom line, you just get some physical activity in every single day, man. Like God made us men. God made us men to be physically active. You know, he put Adam and Eve in the garden. You know, he gave them 2 legs. He didn't give them just a couch to lay on, or he didn't give them a, you know, just an automatic, you know, they didn't give them an automobile, I guess you could say. And look, obviously, you know, in today's day and age, like, yeah, you know, you're gonna spend some time relaxing, some time in your automobile. Hey, nothing wrong with taking some rest. Even God promotes us men getting rest, right? It just, the point is that, you know, you also got to stay physically active too. You got to have that balance between being physically active, doing your workouts, keeping yourself in shape and healthy, and then also between resting and keeping yourself healthy that way, because rest is necessary for us, I mean, people in general, but for us men, and necessary to keep us healthy. But if you're doing too much resting, it turns into laziness, you know. So that's why you got to balance out physical activity with rest. And rest also promotes recovery too, you know. It's like the better rest that you get, the better that you're going to recover, and your body's just going to build better that way too. So bottom line is, like, whether you have fitness goals or not, whether you care for fitness or not, it doesn't matter. You just gotta be physically active throughout your days and throughout your week. It doesn't mean 24/7. It just means, you know, enough to keep yourself in shape and healthy. That's what that means. And me personally, hey, if I'm going to be physically active, I might as well see what I can make out of the body God has given me. I might as well see what I can make out of it, you know. Not great lighting here, so physique check definitely not going to be done here. Definitely more in the sunlight. But other than that, let's get to the pull workout. I'll show you some different variations of pull-ups that I do, and how I do them in what I like to call circuits, which is where you do one workout or one exercise after another, and you just you know, you keep doing it. You keep doing one after another till your body's like, hey, we're done here, we're done. And that's one of the greatest things I've learned about working out, is instead of letting your mind do the speaking, right? Because your mind's gonna try to get you to stop and give up, like when you're tired. Let your body do the speaking. And even when you're tired, even when your mind's saying no, just stop. If your body can keep going, keep pushing it, man. Keep pushing your body till the max limit. And then when your body says, hey, we're done, then listen to it. Don't try to force more out of it, and don't try to overkill it, because then you're gonna hurt yourself. But also don't stop when your mind tells you to stop too, because when your mind tells you to stop, it's just gonna be it's just gonna be, hey, give up when you're tired versus, stop when you're tired versus stop when it actually makes sense to stop, which is when your body has pushed its limits, right? Just push yourself to your limits, man. Don't listen to your mind, but listen to your body with this stuff, and that's how you do it. Oh crap, that hurt. So let's get to it. Okay, just a heads up too. I did a little bit more while the camera's off instead of showing the full workout. There's some workers that had like these loud machines, so that's why I lowered the volume in the last clip. But yeah, that probably would have just been annoying, at least for you. So, well, it wasn't annoying for me too, but you know, they're out doing their job, so respect to them. But I'm not gonna keep all that in the video. You know, that would that wouldn't even make sense. So I did some more from there, and what I've learned is that these new gloves that I got do not have as great of a grip as the last gloves. So I was slipping quite a bit. So what I think I'm gonna have to do for the next pull day is definitely be sticking with the rings. Whether it's here or at the one branch, like all the way down there, definitely just gonna have to stick with the rings for that. But hey, no problem. They're sitting in the back of my trunk waiting to be used, so you know what? Hey, we'll listen to them, bring them out again, and that'll be for the next pull day. I feel like I'll be able to get a more effective pull workout in with them too, especially since I won't be slipping off the dang tree branch. Oh yeah, that was a little preview of the pull workout that I do. So good old-fashioned physique check time, you already know. Got the good sunlight here, so exactly the place to be, because if you want to see your true physique, you got to have like the actual real lighting, right? Because when you have dim lighting, you know, it doesn't show your true thing, your true physique, because there's not enough lighting or reflection to go from off of it. It's darker. It's like in the dark, you know, the darker it is, the less that you can see. Same goes for physique. The darker it is, the less that you can see. So if you want the best chance at seeing your physique, be right in the sunlight, most natural, direct light. When there's no clouds out, no shadows, just direct sunlight right on you and your physique. Bless you, whoever that was. There you go, gotta get a good shot here. Cross is shining. Ah, okay. Okay. I think that ought to do it. So I'll be right back so I can show you around this place. Here we go. Here's where I just got done working out. I don't want to show around this exact area too much for a little mini adventure. Respectfully, I don't want to be giving away my location. At least not exactly. You know that I'm in the Midwest. But that's all that needs to be known. So here's the branch where I was working out, and what I realized is that either my gloves are not grippy enough, or there's a lot more sap than I remember there being. Which you probably can't see it, but I realized my gloves are kind of sticky, so I'm glad I wore those gloves. But those are gonna be just mainly push day gloves. Did the physique check over here. I've also done some workouts over here too. It's really nice doing it at like a pavilion or park with benches and stuff like that. It definitely gives you a lot of leverage to be able to do a lot more in terms of whether it be push or pull or skills. You just, get more variety. Then here's a nice little landscape back here. Now I'm gonna walk down this way, like all the way down to the lake that I love walking around, man. I just remember coming back here. I'll save the story for then. Right over here is where you do batting cages. Sometimes I would come here, and I still will when it's open. Just when I'm maybe kind of in a mood. Sometimes I'll be a little bit down, or sometimes I'll just be a little bit lonely, and I'll just come back here, hit some baseballs, man. And it's actually oddly peaceful, yet intense, yet oddly peaceful. Have you ever felt like that? Like sometimes just the most intense things can sometimes be the most peaceful things. I don't know, kind of an interesting concept, but maybe you felt like that as a man. Maybe that's just a man thing, or just a me thing. But yeah, I'll get down to the lake, tell that little story. So see you there. Here we go. This is a bridge that crossed to get there, and I remember I would come here all the time last summer, and I would just put on some peaceful music and walk around the lake. Not necessarily, like that meditative kind of peaceful music that you're thinking of, but just songs that I like that I also find peaceful. There's a couple by like a group called Refusion, is what their name is, like the kind of group name. But there's something that hits different when you are outside in nature and you put on these kind of like wholesome songs, right? Because a lot of the times you're probably used to hearing a lot of non-wholesome songs, especially in today's generation. And it's not about trying to be Mr. Perfect or anything, but it is just trying to be just a better man overall. And a lot of the times, innocence and wholesomeness will definitely contribute to that. So I would put on like these wholesome songs. It's like there's like no, it's some of those songs that aren't. I mean, yeah, Christian songs, dude. Don't get me wrong. They hit a lot of the times, sometimes. But there's also, it's not like that's the only thing you have to listen to as well. I found quite a few songs with no swear words and no bad or demeaning messages and stuff like that. Even like some of the Stranger Things soundtrack is just amazing. But yeah, I would put on like wholesome songs and just come out here. Something about the summertime and how calm it is. There's like no wind, right? It's just the sun, the sound of the bird chirping, and the beautiful view, and just listening to that wholesome music that I don't know what it is. It hits different. It puts you at peace. It puts a smile on your face, even when life is trying to make you frown or make you angry or make you stressed. Something about it. But yeah, this place is cool. I'll take a couple more shots while I'm over here too. As part of our little mini adventure, if you will. And yeah, you just go all the way around this path, all the way down there. I'm talking all the way down the very end of that lake, and then you'll circle across, and that's where you can go onto those docks too. I've tried fishing there before. Maybe one of these days if I go fishing, I'll just have to record that as a little part of a mini adventure. I know it doesn't always have to be exploring in nature. Definitely going to be a lot of the times though, but hey, there's other adventures to be, gone on out there. So yeah, one of these days if I go fishing out here or something, I might just have to record that, little fish and talk, stuff like that. So I'll take a couple more shots. But yeah, that was a little story. It's just being back here brings back those memories, and it's just such a beautiful sight. It's really crazy how in the moment, a lot of the times in the moments that you're currently in, and this is why you should always do your best just to enjoy the moment that you're in and take advantage of that moment. But a lot of the times with the moments that you're in, even something as small as walking a lake and listening to wholesome music, you're in the midst of creating some of the greatest memories, that one day you're going to look back on and just smile about, or those memories that'll bring you peace and comfort as well in the hard times. Yeah, so I'll be walking back here listening to like peaceful music, talking with God. And yeah, now I look back a year later and I'm like, wow, this is one of like my favorite spots to do so. So just enjoy and take advantage of every moment, because you never know which of those moments are going to become your greatest memories. This is another really cool shot from kind of at the top of the path, like the highest point of the path. It's a really cool shot. And sometimes there's been times where it's actually like this lake has flooded so much to the point to where you won't even be able to see those docks. And see like how the trail goes up over there, how it goes up. Yeah, it gets all the way up there. It's gotten so far up to the point to where I've tried walking just a half of it and I couldn't walk it anymore because it just got so flooded that it was just all water. Basically turned into a giant swamp. And that usually happens after a really hard rain, but then it also tends to drain fairly quickly too. So yeah, just a cool shot of the highest point of the lake. Now here was the docks that I was showing from that highest point, which is right about up there. And yeah, believe it or not, like I said, is that this place has gotten so flooded to where this entire area is just underwater. It's crazy how much it could actually be flooded. And even that path going up can get like flooded all the way up there. It's crazy, man. And on the peaceful side too, I have a couple baby ducks and parents. I won't bug them too much, but it's pretty cute actually. Love these little guys, man. God's world is something else, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But no, careful, dude. What, is he trying to go in or something? Yep, he's trying to take a little morning swim. Parents are just like, go ahead, dude. Do your thing. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Nothing, gosh, Gosh, I wish I had bread. This sucks. Nothing like God's perfect world, you know? Nothing like it. I think a fish just flopped out of water over there. Yeah, nothing like God's perfect world, man. I feel like, the more time that you spend in it, it's just, it's just so nice and peaceful, man. So beautiful. Us men need this. We don't, yeah, we need to work hard. Absolutely, man. We need to work hard, stay disciplined, go on the mission that we need to go on in life, and really just make the most of our manhood. But we also got to have a little bit of this too, man. We also got to have a little bit of this. Check this dude out, man. He's just living his best life, bro. The other guy looks like he wants to, but he's like, nah, I'm too chill here. That's adorable. No, believe it or not, I'm gonna let them be. A lot of the times, believe it or not, when I see nature, dude, I get this hard temptation just to go and like try to like pick them up. Like if I see a baby bird, man, I just want to pick it up and take it home, man. Even with my cat at home, the amount of times like he'll just be walking around and I'll snag him and start like cuddling him, man. Love that guy. I gotta show God's creature some love, man. But yeah, it's definitely a nice area, a nice spot. Nothing like the good old outdoors. All right. I will say though, I think it's time to get back to the car for a Bible reading and a message before we head out for the day. So let's go. Okay, from where we left off yesterday at Mark 2:13. Once again, Jesus went out beside the lake. A large crowd came to him, and he began to teach them. As he walked along, he saw Levi, son of Alphaeus, sitting at the tax collector's booth. "Follow me," Jesus told him, and Levi got up and followed him. While Jesus was having dinner at Levi's house, many tax collectors and sinners were eating with him and his disciples, for there were many who followed him. When the teachers of the law, who were Pharisees, saw him eating with the sinners and tax collectors, they asked his disciples, "Why does he eat with tax collectors and sinners?" On hearing this, Jesus said to them, "It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners." Now, John's disciples and the Pharisees were fasting. Some people came and asked Jesus, "How is it that John's disciples and the disciples of the Pharisees are fasting, but yours are not?" Jesus answered, "How can the guests of the bridegroom fast while he is with them? They cannot, so long as they have with them, yeah. But the time will come when the bridegroom will be taken from them, and on that day they will fast. No one sews a patch of unshrunk cloth on an old garment. Otherwise, the new piece will pull away from the old, making the tear worse. And no one pours new wine into old wineskins. Otherwise, the wine will burst the skins, and both the wine and the wineskins will be ruined. No, they pour the new wine into new wineskins." One Sabbath, Jesus was going through the grain fields, and as his disciples walked along, they began to pick some heads of grain. The Pharisees said to him, "Look, why are they doing what is unlawful on the Sabbath?" He answered, "Have you never read what David did when he and his companions were hungry and in need? In the days of Abiathar, the high priest, he entered the house of God and ate the consecrated bread, which is lawful only for priests to eat, and he also gave some to his companions. Then he said to them, 'The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath, so the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath.'" And I'm going to tell you something before our message here real quick, is that, another message, I guess, another talk, is that we got to stop focusing so much on our sin, man. Like notice how everyone, right, is just focusing on sin. He's sinning, I'm sinning, you're sinning, we're all sinning, right? None of us are real, Christians or real believers in God, whatever, That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. Jesus even said himself, "I have not come to call the righteous, but call the sinners." So instead of focusing on your sin, right, how about put your focus on Jesus? Put your focus on God. And it doesn't mean that you can just go around and do whatever sins you want carelessly, no. Because honestly, if you really care about God, I think that you would try better not to sin. Just like if you care about your girlfriend, right, you'll try better to take care of her. If you care about your family, you'll try better to take care of them, right? So if you care about God, I think you'll try better not to sin. However, you should not expect perfection, and he does not expect perfection from us. That's why he sent Jesus. But rather, we are made perfect through him, which means that, without him, we're not perfect, but with him, even though we're not perfect, we still sin, screw up, and make mistakes. It's him that's perfect, is the bottom line. So, instead of focusing on our sins, talking about, oh, I committed this sin today, or he committed this sin, he's not real, he's fake, he doesn't care. It's like, dude, you're gonna point out other people's sins. Let's talk about, what you've done recently. I'm gonna point out other people's sins. Let's talk about what I've done recently. Not like point out like in a brotherly way. Like it's right. It's all right to do it in a brotherly, loving way to try to become better together. But when we're going around picking on others and judging others for no like just to try to say, hey, I got you, right? I got you. Those gotcha moments. It's just like, dude, we got to stop doing that as humans, bro. It's not cool. I can go around and pick on everyone for their sins, but who am I to do that as I ain't Mr. Perfect at all? And instead of, I've noticed that my life's actually gotten better, and I've been better at breaking bad habits and breaking, bad addictions and just breaking a bad lifestyle by, instead of trying to break it so hard, instead of trying to break the bad addictions and trying to stop sinning, I just simply stop focusing on it. And I put my focus on God and on Jesus and on just doing as much good as possible. And naturally, the evil works its way out. Just as God's word also says, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. And that's what we ought to take from that. That's what we ought to take. Instead of focusing on our sins or on other people's sins or on sin, let's just put our focus on God and Jesus, man. Right where, let's put our focus on the Holy Spirit, right where it belongs. That's how us men ought to live. And when you start doing that, I'm telling you, your life really does change. Change for me, change for everyone who I've seen ever do it. So give it a try, give it a shot. All right, on to a message I have for you, and then we'll be on our way. I have a bit of a harder thing to talk about today, but I feel it's necessary to bring up. I was thinking about it last night, and the fact that I used to go through this, and I just thought that maybe it could be a good thing to bring up in case anyone else is going through it, or has been, or may go through it in the future. I thought it could be something necessary to bring up, even though it's pretty hard for me to talk about. But hey, us men, we got each other's backs. We got each other's backs, and us men on this mission, of course, we got each other's backs, and so sometimes we got to talk about those hard things or think about those hard things, but it helps us to get through it, which is the whole goal in the end. So just to come right out and be straight up with you, there was a time in my life where I used to be, I don't know if I can say here on YouTube, but let's just say, you get the picture, right? There was a time in my life where I thought about it. And I remember that it was just one evening, or maybe it was afternoon, like going close to evening, but I remember it was. And I remember that during this period of my life, I was disappointed in everyone, man. I was disappointed in my family. I was disappointing, definitely God. I don't want to speak for God, but I can imagine that the things I was doing and saying was disappointing him. We'll say that. And disappointing some of my friends, disappointing myself. I was basically just a big disappointment to everyone. And I was trying hard, man. Like I was trying just to at least be a better man, but I always would let my thoughts or my emotions or feelings get the best of me, and it would make me say and do things that were just kind of like stupid at the time, and it led to me disappointing a lot of people, including myself. And during this time, I remember it was the afternoon or evening, and I went to take a walk at a place near me, but I also got pretty close to some train tracks too, and I remember just looking down on them, man. I remember just looking down and just thinking to myself, maybe people would be happier if I wasn't here. Maybe some people would just be, maybe it would be better off for them, given how much I disappointed everyone. Maybe it would be better. And I remember it just felt like the devil speaking right into my head, man. And it's like, and I believed him. I just remember that's exactly how it felt like, and I believed him. But I didn't dare take another step closer to it. Because I knew that even though I thought these things, I knew that just like every battle in life, you know, we get through it. God delivers us from it. But here's the thing about feeling this way, and I look back, and it's gonna sound really, really weird, but in a weird kind of sense, I'm grateful I had this moment in this season, because I think I got in this mind space where I was able to understand how a lot of people that are going through what they're going through, why they feel this way, right? Because a lot of people, yes, of course, when we hear that someone is feeling that way, feeling like they're not meant to be here, like right away we think, oh, we need, how can we help them, and what can we do to help them, and like, hey, please don't do this. And yes, that's great, man. Like, we got to keep doing that kind of stuff. We got to keep helping people as much as we can, but at the same time, being in that mind space that I was in, I realized that, I believed that no matter what, this could not be helped. Nothing could help me. And these were lies that the devil was speaking into my mind, that I believed. That no one could help me, nothing will change this, this is it. And people that are going through that genuinely believe that. They believe these thoughts that they're having, right? These emotions and their feelings, they believe them like it's 100% the truth. And they believe that it is the truth, even though in reality, there would be people that are devastated if they're gone. There are people that would be like crying, and even if you disappointed everyone, man, even if you disappointed everyone, like even if you feel like you got no one in your life, man, there's still someone out there that cares about you. There is, even if they don't know you that well. I mean, I've heard stories of people, like names of people that I've heard in high school that have done that. And I remember, like, it just broke my heart, man. And even though I never knew them personally, like, I remember either their names or we were in the same grade, but I just never knew them. And I just remember it broke my heart, man. So even if you think that there's no one out there that cares about you or whatever it may be, it's not the truth, man. And even if all the thoughts and emotions are telling you in your mind, like this is the way out, this will just end my pain. It'll be better if I just wasn't here. Whatever thoughts or feelings you maybe have that are convincing you to do that, it's not thoughts and emotions and feelings that you should believe. They're not something that you should believe at all. Because I'm going to tell you what the truth behind it is for someone who's been through this. Is that I look back on your life, right? Look back on your life. I'm going to try to prove this truth to you. Look back on your life and look through all the hard things besides, the certain moments of feeling this certain way. Even if you're not feeling this way, like, right, it's possible that it could happen one day. I thought for a long time that it was never possible until I got to that moment, and then I was like, oh, wow, I never even thought that it would be possible for me to feel this way. But look back on your life. Look back on your life. And look at all the hard times and the storms and the pain and all the suffering that you've been through. Yet you've always made it through, right? Yeah, you have. You're here today. You've always made it through. Whatever it is that you're going through, and this is what I've learned from this, is that whatever it is that you're going through, you're gonna make it through. And even from back when I felt this way, man, because I was disappointing everyone. I was like a disappointment and a failure to myself. Like I felt like a burden to everyone. I felt like no one really cared about me. As time went on, I kept learning things. I kept growing as a man and becoming a better man. And that has helped me to get my relationships back on track with God, with other people. That's helped me to get my life and my self-worth and purpose back on track. That's helped me to get so many things back on track to where, at least I don't think I'm disappointing anyone. And even if I was, I know that as long as I'm following God, it's like, yeah, I may disappoint some people, man. I may disappoint some people. Some people may look down on me, laugh at me, call me a failure, whatever. But as long as I'm following God, that's all that matters, man. And even when I do struggle with God, when I struggle, with my relationship with him, when I struggle with sin, it's like, he forgives me, he forgives us, and he loves us. That's why he sent Jesus for us, is because we all struggle with sin, because we all struggle. So even if you think God hates you, it's all just lies by the devil, man. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. God has told us multiple times he will never leave us nor forsake us. God's told us multiple times, do not be afraid. Do not worry about what you will wear tomorrow. The Lord your God has plans for you to give you hope in a future, right? God so loved the world that he sent his one and only son. So no matter what you think, no matter how you feel, God does love you, and God has a plan for your life, man. And God cares about you, and that's all you need to know. And just follow him the best you can. And even when you fail and you fail following God, and you fail other people, it's like, dude, hey, repent of your sins, forgive yourself, and move on. Just doing better to be better, But even besides all that, just the fact is that whatever you're going through, or have gone through, or will go through, you're gonna make it through. You always have, and you always will. I always have, and even though I didn't believe it at the time that I felt this way, looking down at those train tracks, man, I just knew, like, God was telling me, like, hey, you're gonna make it through, man. I didn't hear his voice or necessarily feel his presence, but even when I look back on my life, God's always helped me through everything. I've always gotten through all the hard times and storms, and same with you, man. You've gotten through all the hard times that you've gone through. You're gonna get through whatever it is that you're going through now or in the future. We always make it through, man. We always make it through. And us men here, we got each other's backs. We got each other's backs. So I mean, hey, if you want to message me about anything, like I have a community down below that you could join and message me. Message other people and stuff if you want to talk to anyone too. But just know that whatever you're feeling, right? Or hey, maybe you're not feeling this way right now, but maybe it's possible that someday it does happen in the future. Or maybe you're just really down in the dumps, but you don't necessarily feel that way. It's like, hey, whether you're down in the dumps, whether you're, feeling like this, whether you're just not very happy with your life, it's like, dude, no matter what happens, right? No matter what happens in this life, like, you're gonna get through it, and God's plan will prevail, and things are gonna work out in the end. You might not see it, you might not feel it, you might not know it, but they always have, and they always will. So don't ever forget that. Even when you're feeling at your worst and having your worst possible days, it's like, hey, just remember that just make it through this day, fight another battle, and when you make it through this day and you go to bed at night, hey, you've just won another battle. You just won another battle, and that's great. And you're getting one step closer to winning the war, to walking out of that storm, to going into the light. You might not see the light now, right? Like when there's a storm upon us, you don't see the blue sky, but over time, over the course of the day, the storm does pass, and then you will see a blue sky again. Storms don't last forever. Battles don't last forever. They all always come to an end. And a newsflash, right? You're always gonna win. You might lose some battles, but you're always gonna win the war. You might get struck by lightning a couple times, but you're always gonna make it out of the storm. You always have, you always will. God's never gonna leave us nor forsake us. So you know what? That's all we need to know. And yeah, it's painful now. We just keep walking through and fighting, man. And we'll see the blue skies again. And just look up and smile and say, wow, thank you, God, for helping me through all that, and thank you for where I am today. It's always happened, and it always will. All the storms you've been through, all the hard times, all the battles you've been through, hey, they've always come to an end. And you've always had a victory in some way. Even if you lost, it's always been a victory, because even if you lose, you learn something. Even if you fail, you become wiser and stronger. So there's always a victory at the end of the day. But, with God, we can never lose. So, bottom line, whether you're feeling like that, or whether you do one day, whether you're just feeling down in the dumps, or maybe you will, it's possible you will have a pretty sad day or hard day one day, whether you're just having some hard times or some really bad times in your life, or, maybe you're just having a rough day, it's like, hey, just remember, fight through it, keep getting through it, you're gonna make it out. You always have and you always will. you know, and you know, God's gonna help us through all of it, and all the lies that the devil tells us, all those thoughts and emotions and feelings that say, hey, this is it, this is the end, no need to continue on. You know, it's all just lies the devil's trying to feed into us. But at the end of the day, man, you know, the real truth is that, you know, God has plans for us to give us hope in the future. The real truth is God loves us. That's why he sent his one and only son. The real truth is God will never leave us nor forsake us. The real truth is you made it through all the hard times and storms in the past, and you come out the other end. You know, this time will be no different. As all storms always pass, all battles and wars always come to an end. Otherwise, there would currently be a storm right now, and there would currently be a war going on. So, you know, like around us, I should say. That's the bottom line, man. Always made it through, always will. And I look back on when I used to feel this way and think this way, and I look back and I'm just grateful that I fought through and continued on, man. Because now I'm in the blue sky part of life, and you'll be too. So just keep fighting. Us men, we got each other's backs. You want to talk to me or anyone else? You know, link down below. Check it out. You can message me, message other people. Yeah, whatever you're thinking that, hey, this is the end, this is it, no need to continue on, don't believe it. Just continue on, keep fighting, keep moving, and just like every storm in your life, just like every hard time, it will eventually come to an end and you'll see blue skies again. You know, you just gotta fight through this, and you will make it out. God loves you, never leave you nor forsake you, and he has plans for us to give us hope in the future. And I'm glad I kept fighting through that one day, or that one season actually. You know, that one day and that one season, because that one day was like the peak of it all, but like it was still like a whole season building up, right? I'm glad I fought through it, you know, and you just gotta keep fighting too, man.